CarolinaPrepper.com. If you're looking for quality food storage for hiking, fishing, hunting, basic survival needs, or just for everyday use, check out our food storage line at CarolinaPrepper.com. We also carry other fine quality products such as our can concealment holsters for men and women. Keeping your firearm under cover and within reach puts confidence in your hands in any situation. Our products are 100% American made. Check us out today at CarolinaPrepper.com. Good morning, everybody. Wow, Gary, Robin, Monica, good morning. How's everybody? Hey, Mike, good to see you. Rhonda, looked like Lisa. Did I skip Lisa? It went so fast. Everybody coming in. Hey, Catherine, good to see you. Shannon, good to see you. Cully, how is everybody? Good morning, Jules. Good, Monica. Glad everything is well with everybody. Elle, how are you? Marlene, good to see you. Great morning in Phoenix. Another day, another attack. Yeah. Let's hope not today. Let's hope not. We had a couple things going on yesterday. Oh, I love the horse jewels. Thank you. Hey, Rhonda. Again, everyone, God bless. I'm in training for my job, but wanted to stop in and say hi. Well, thank you, Shannon, for doing that. So glad that you did. Hey, Alexis, good to see you. How is everybody today? Debbie, good to see you. Lori, Chicago Pops, how are you? You look marvelous, darling. Well, thank you, Catherine. Will you be at all talking about November 4th? Rhonda, we can talk a little bit about it. I don't know exactly, what there's left to say, but we can talk about it a little bit. Good morning. NYC needs to be cleansed. Well, a lot of cleansing needs to go on, right? All right, so I'm going to read you something as we on. What does that mean, Alexis? CK, hello. Is it CKL? Still suffering with this kidney stone. Oh, my gosh, Lori. Would appreciate prayers. Everybody, please pray for Lori. She has kidney stones that she's still suffering with. I know that Robin feels the same way because she has the same issues, and I know she wouldn't mind me telling that. Much will happen. Rhonda will go over that in just a minute. Remind me. Hey, Asher, good morning. Hugh, good morning. And hello, Dawn. Good to see everybody. So as you, if you would please retweet this and share it. And while you're doing that and inviting people in, I'm going to read to you from Living in the Power of the Holy Spirit. This was by Dr. Charles Stanley. Hey, Lee. Many people today promote themselves so that others will reward them with raises, new job titles, and greater benefits. Some promote themselves so that others will vote for them, honor them, give them greater recognition, or increase their fame. The believer should rest in confidence that the Holy Spirit is the one who brings our works to the Father so that he might reward us in his timing, according to his methods, and in the way that is just right for us. Don't be concerned about whether or not others see your good works. When God sees your good works and the right motives of your heart, he will promote you and reward you in the way that brings you to greater personal fulfillment and greater usefulness in his kingdom. Do every job that you are given to do as if you are doing it exclusively for the Lord. It may be cooking a meal, setting a corporate policy, cleaning a house, enacting a law, or making a judgment, responding to the skin knee of a child, answering a phone call, purchasing an object, making a contribution, mowing a yard, building a house, designing a room, or giving a gift. Name any activity you care to name, any part of a job description, no matter how great or small, and I'll show you a job you can do as unto the Lord. Good advice. Good advice. Hey, Gary. Gary's praying for you over here. Lori. Amen. Hey, Daniel. Hey, Shauna. Thank you for inviting people. Hey, Lee. Barbara. Good to see you. Prayers for whoever has kidney stones. Not fun, I know. That's Lori over on Periscope, Robin. Robin knows exactly how you feel, going through the same issues herself. And Lori, Robin also prayed for you as well, and everybody else is praying. Hey, Kimberly, how are you? Orlando, nice to see you. Yes, Jiggy, kidney stones. Both Robin and Lori have them. So pray for them if you will. Pray for their healing. I know I pray for Robin to get healed. I know she's been suffering with them for a long time. So, hey, Jules, good to see you as well. So let's, I know Rhonda wanted me to talk really quickly about Antifa. There's a thing going around that Antifa, that everything that's being said may be true and everything that's being said may not be true. Lee said honey and lemon and hot water will ease the pain, Robin and Lori. So, might want to check that out. I don't know. You've had kidney stones and they are terrible. Oh, no, that's not good. Not good at all, Julie. Now, let's see. So, as I was saying about Antifa, some of them are saying that they're going to go in the bigger cities and they're going to protest, and that they never said that they were going to hurt anyone. I don't know what's going to happen because there's so many rumors flying about it. Other people said that Antifa has said that that's something that the right made up. I say be prepared. Pray for protection. Pray that God will protect you. Pray that God will give you wisdom in the situation. And that's about all we can do at this point. November 4th is coming up on Saturday. So, you know, we'll soon know what they're going to do. Hey, Jerry, good morning. Marianne, I don't know if I said hello to you. If I didn't, I'm saying hello now. All right. So, as we know, yesterday there was a terrorist attack in New York. And I was kind of surprised that they came out quickly, but it's, you know, even though the guy got out of the car and said Allahu Akbar, according to reports, you know, a lot of times, hey there, Lemon, a lot of times they want to say that that's still not a terrorist attack, but they are saying that. Also, there, according to reports, there was evil is thick, Kimberly. There was a note in the car saying that he was doing this for ISIS. I don't know how much clearer you can get. Maybe that's what needed to be done in Las Vegas before, and who knows, maybe there was a note in Las Vegas and we don't know. So we'll see, you know, what happens with that. But from what I had heard, that he rented, Prayer Warriors needed, you bet, Kimberly. It's about time they call it out. Yeah, according to what they said, he was 29 years old from Uzbekistan, and he had a green card. He came in on that diversity visa. And he rented I don't know, I heard it was a Home Depot truck. I don't know, U-Haul, whatever you want to call it. It was a truck. Yeah, but he was a really nice guy, according to people who knew him. And he crashed into all of those people and then eventually crashed into a school bus. Robin's saying it was the Home Depot truck's fault. Yeah, I'm surprised that hasn't come out in the news. That's what I thought, Cully, was Home Depot. Saw posters about what Antifa was going to do, and they called for killing the president and Pence. Yes, Barbara, and they're claiming that those signs really weren't theirs. So, Bush signed off on the diversity bill. Banning trucks. What? Kimberly? But anyway, Asher said, I saw the video before they edited it, and there are two men that were in that truck. So so they didn't mention another man in the truck. Yeah, we can ban trucks. You're late again, Fred. No problem. Oh, ban trucks, not banning trucks. I'm like, banning trucks? What do you mean? Why is ISIS website not taken down? Good question. Good question, Shauna. But don't worry, Shauna. We've taken Russia off of Twitter. So that should take care of the whole problem, right? Or was it the fault of the people walking on the sidewalk? Should we ban walking on sidewalks? Robin, they weren't even on the sidewalks. They were in the bike lane. So maybe the whole problem was that there was a bike lane and those people chose to be in it. White assault vehicle. There you go, Collie. I mean, it's really ridiculous. And those people were from Argentina and Belgium that died. 8 died, 11 are injured. Ban bike pass. There you go. Is the murderer still alive? Yeah, the murderer. Yeah, he was shot by police, but as far as I know, he's still alive. And my gosh, this should make you feel good. Supposedly, he was an Uber driver. So go out and get your Uber car today and feel safe. Good morning from Pakistan. Kasif, how are you? Sorry, business call. No problem, Barbara. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Makes me not want to go and rent an Uber for anything. So, oh, it wouldn't have mattered where they were. ISIS is here, and they will do more damage. Good morning, Monique. Good to see you. Yeah, Uber Akbar. There you go, Cully. Thank you. Invest in sand trucks. Have the Obama-Clinton crime families called for a rental truck ban yet? No, I'm surprised Chuck Schumer hasn't. Why do you think he decided to do what he did? Because he's ISIS driven? Do they need a reason other than the fact that people who aren't following Islam are infidels? I mean, is there a reason other than that? Hey, my husband drives for both. Well, I guess we're going to have to start watching him, Barbara, making sure that he doesn't do anything. Asher said that's the goal of Agenda 2030. Yep, with the bike lanes. And as Shepard Smith was saying yesterday, hey, Patrick, good to see you. Patrick wasn't saying, Shepard Smith was saying that, oh, we got those bike lanes. You have to watch out for the bike lanes. They have their own lights in the bike lane. So it was sounding like he wasn't too happy. Great White Satan on a demonic holiday. There you go, Marlene. That could be it too. What's Agenda 30? It is basically, it's so hard to explain, Brian, in 5 seconds. You know what, let's say in some ways it's like Agenda 21, but on steroids, and about taking control of people's lives. Well, I'll leave it at that. If you can look up the book Technocracy Rising. You should really read that book anyway, but I would say just go ahead and Google agenda. Really they call it 2030 agenda. Hey, Julia, that was ridiculous. He tried to call it road rage at first. Yeah. Hey, Mel. Back to the 4th, a clown was scoping, saying uglies about how they would do something. Hey, I didn't see who that was that said hello to me. Hey, Wanda, good to see you. Please pray for Pakistani Christian, Kashif said. Everyone, please say a prayer for the Pakistani Christians that are being held, Kashif, I guess that's what you're saying. Oh, hey, Danielle. Brian, go look on the United Nations website. There you go. Brian Asher said go look on the United Nations website and you'll see all about 2030 agenda. The FBI knew the driver of the truck and talked to him about Islamic Jihad in 2015, Gary said. I'm doing great, Danielle. Sending prayers, Lisa said, to Pakistani Christians. Helpful to put concrete lane barriers at street intersections of bike lanes. Yeah, that would help. But, Chicago Pops, you'd think that the streets are so narrow anyway. I don't think that riding a bike in that lane would be safe in New York, but I don't know. But putting a barrier there is probably going to make it even more unsafe. Cars will probably, hit into the barrier. Well, for one, I have my own car and have heard some scary stories from people who took Uber for transportation, Robin said. Again, as always, they have had him on the radar. Exactly. They had him on the radar. They talked to him 2 years ago until a bike hits them and New York gets sued. That's right, Marlene. It is funny how all of a sudden we're hearing, even with Mueller's stuff and Manafort, how many years did they know about stuff supposedly and didn't do anything about it, or maybe should have known about stuff and didn't do anything about it? When do you think we'll find out about what really happened in Las Vegas? Probably never. I do know that yesterday Sheriff Lombardo came out and said one of the officers actually fired his weapon in the suite, in Paddock's suite, but he told the public, don't worry, he didn't fire it in the same room with Paddock, but it was in the suite. Yep, changed the story again. At least added to it, It is ridiculous. I know that Matt Couch was doing some periscopes and regarding, instead of just one helicopter, talking about other helicopters. I have no idea if any of that is true, but he's getting that information from IntelliHub. So if you want to go to IntelliHub.com, check it out for yourself. I have no idea if, the veracity of their information either. So it's up to you to look it up and see what you think. Clapper said FBI and NYPD had no idea who this guy was not on the radar. I heard, and that's funny because the news came out and said that was Hugh. Spencer said nothing good ever comes from Allah Akbar in the air. Praying for all Christians who are suffering at the hands of these very evil, vile monsters. Also, somebody really needs to go after Soros and all the leaders from the movement Soros is funding, Monique said. And Hugh was talking about there were 2 helicopters that night in Las Vegas. Look up Shepard Abelos. He has the most information on Vegas. Abellos, Asher said. Shepard Abelos. Probably not how you pronounce his name, but, you know, whatever. I did the best I could. I spelled it. So it's hard to say because we got so many varieties of, you know, people saying what they saw and all that. Look up Pamela Geller for story. Feds interviewed NYC truck jihad mass murderer in 2015 about terror ties. So Gary is saying the New York Hugh said the NYPD said there was no connection. They didn't know this guy. Gary is saying if you go to Pamela Geller, she's saying that the feds interviewed the NYC truck jihad mass murderer in 2015, Gary said. So it depends upon who you want to listen to, what you want to believe. And it's odd that the guy yesterday, according to reports anyway, had paintballs and pellet guns. That's kind of odd. Security guard back to work news said, Marianne was saying about Jesus Campos. Who the heck knows anymore, you know? Good morning, Amanda. How are you? But as I said, Trump is calling for the end of the diversity lottery program. The guy came here 7 years ago. And, yeah, it could be suicide by police. Kimberlini didn't get his way. They lied about the guns. They are real, Asher said. So I didn't hear anything about the guns other than they were paint guns and all that. He probably just didn't have access to a gun, Amber said. Possibility. I don't know. Can you, if you have a green card, can you get a gun? Hey, Don, good to see you. He had a knife. Uh-oh. Okay, Amber, let's ban all knives. We can always do that. I guess President Trump didn't. Yeah, anybody can get a gun. Barbara said, not so much in California. I mean, you do have to go through fingerprinting and everything else. He doesn't have a valid ID, and he was on the FBI watch list. I'm sure. Amber Trump said. You can get. Well, yes, you can get illegal guns. That's true, Rhonda. Only a legal driver's license. Yes, that's true. Not in New York. The gun would be illegal. No, we now come on, people. We know you can't get guns illegally. Come on, what would be the point of gun control if you could get guns illegally? Saw info needs verifying that he owned 2 trucks. Wow. Trump has been right about everything. Yes, you're right. Took forever to get a gun in California, 30 days. 30 days? Wow. Hi, Susan. I'm late to scope. Glenn disrespected me the other night. Oh, okay. Well, yep. So let's see. Other news. Oh, yeah. Jeff Flake had to come out with, as I was saying, Trump said that Schumer was involved in letting that diversity visas go. And, yeah, Molly, Trump is right again. Trump's always right. I'm eerily so. Jeff Flake had to come out and remind President Trump that the Gang of 8 immigration, written in part by Schumer, would have done away with diversity visa. So he had to take up for Schumer and say, you know, he was part of the Gang of 8, I guess, because he wrote part of it. And so if it had passed, and I don't know why President Trump would, you know, be interested in knowing that other than the fact that he called Schumer out, that, you know, if it had passed, there wouldn't be a diversity visa. My thing on that is good. I'm glad to hear you say that because, and Wreath Queen, I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't know what you were saying, but I kind of figured it out, and I'm sorry to hear that. So if they're saying that they don't like the diversity visa, it should be absolutely no problem when President Trump goes in there to get rid of the diversity visa. They shouldn't be running to the court system, trying to get a temporary restraining order, and saying that Trump can't do what he did. So there you go. So thank you, Jeff Flake. I know you wanted to come out against Trump, but you actually came out against the other side and hurt them because now they can't go out and complain that we still need the diversity visa and Trump shouldn't be able to get away with it, you know, get rid of it. They are against anything just because he wants it. That's right, Kimberly. That's true. Anybody can walk a $50 bill through too many inner city neighborhoods and get a gun. No doubt a stolen one, but a gun nonetheless, Spencer said. Josette, good morning. How are you? Way to go, Flaky. I know. Like, why don't you go, Flaky? Just go. 14 months is going to be way too long to have that guy in there running out in front of the camera. Uzbekistanis were recruited into the U.S. to smuggle uranium. Really, Jerry? Huh. That's funny that you would talk about uranium when we've been talking about uranium one. I wonder if there's any connection. They are already here and they will come from other countries if we expand the ban. Oh, absolutely, NCAA. Yes, no doubt. Is that like, okay. They lied to keep people from panicking so they would not ruin Halloween, Asher said, and Gary said, LOL, Donald. It is scary in NCAA. I called Speaker Ryan about supporting President Trump to tighten up borders and complained about Schumer program. Good for you, Catherine. We should all be calling the Congress every day because they're not listening. Schumer said not to politicize this. What a joke. I know. Didn't he come out like 2 seconds after some other incident, or pick one? He's probably been out in front of the camera right after. We need to close our borders so they cannot succeed at their worldwide caliphate. See, Amber, the problem is we have people in the United States who are helping them with their worldwide caliphate. And they don't want the borders closed. That's what we're fighting. Where's our AG? Hey, Deborah, this has to stop. Yes. Criminals will always get guns, but law-abiding citizens are kept from protecting themselves. Yes. Did everybody see Laura Loomer last night? She was really going off. Hey, mighty blessed one. She was walking down the streets of New York City on the sidewalks calling out Islam as she went. And they weren't too happy about it. Yes, but at least we won't let in anymore. Exactly, Amber. Democrats want everything shut down they are involved in, Amanda said. She was rather correct. Barbara said, what is Jeff Sessions doing? Yeah. Jeff Sessions is staying out of all things Russia. We need to shut down the mosques. Somebody said Cal. I'll just say Cal. If you want to call Speaker Ryan, Catherine said the number is 202-225-3031, 202-225-3031, and ask for the speaker and leave him a message. Jeff is staying out of everything. Well, he is doing work on MS-13, and he's doing work on sanctuary cities. I'm so sorry to see what had happened to your fellow Americans, Josette said. I know, Josette. It's totally criminal. Yep, in New York. Yeah, I mean, they were trying to grab the phone from Laura and everything else, kept knocking off her periscopes. And I hate to tell people, and I don't understand why they don't get this. If you grab somebody's phone in their hand, that's called a battery, assault and battery. You can go to jail for that, and she could have pressed charges for that. She really could have. But they just keep doing it. Jeff is a good guy, but he is over his head. You know, is it Mel? I think that, you know, it's just a bad situation. Hey, Nancy. What's Nancy getting congratulated for? Muslims are trying to take over our country. It has to be stopped, Deborah said. Yeah. The Podesta Group, new CEO, and was Uranium One head Catherine Fritz, who also worked with Jeb Bush. Oh, interesting. So Catherine Fritz is going to take the company into that entirely new company. Yeah, she tried to get the people on the street. Laura did. Oh, the Dodgers. She tried to get the people on the street to disavow what happened. And the one Muslim woman that she talked to, who I think turned out to be with the New York Times, didn't disavow it, but not that she's obligated to. Now, do you guys remember the Utah nurse that was arrested when she refused to take blood? They're being used to destabilize our country just like they have in other countries? Yes. And, of course, Muslims would not disavow, Deborah said. Yep. So, yes, the Utah nurse that was arrested, manhandled by that officer, She reached a settlement with Utah for $500,000. So that case has been settled. I know that she didn't want to go after anything, but probably people said you need to. Yeah, I know. You protect the patient. She did her job well. They did get off cheap. Seems low. Good for her. And I don't know how much of that settlement is going to go towards attorney fees, if all of it goes to her or not. Hey, Kim, she should have gotten more. Glad she did. I am too. Great video, immigration, world poverty, and gumballs. Numbers USA on YouTube, Gary said. Yeah, I was glad to see that she went out and got some type of settlement. Yeah, the patient did die. Yeah. Hope detective learned his lesson. Well, Rhonda, I think he's pretty much out of a job all the way around. He's been fired as an EMT, as what I understand, and as a police officer, so not sure what he's going to be doing. Once again, POTUS is right about changing and improving the immigration system, Josette said. Yep, absolutely. He's been right just about everything. Glad she got that, and it's an admission that what happened was wrong. Nurse was 100% correct, Cully said. That detective was probably questioned before that. Was at least it set a precedence. Yes, Rhonda. Absolutely. And that's what we needed. Questionable. Okay. Yeah, I mean, and that seemed to go on for a long time, and I guess the thing was he got irritated, so that's why he took the actions he did. Typo with her. Oh, gosh. So, anyway, here's some other news that we didn't see this anywhere. I didn't see it on the national news. In Riverside, California, which is right next door to San Diego, a parent in Riverside went into a elementary school, took the teacher hostage. He was a young man. I think he was around 27 or something like that, and he was a parent. And he held her hostage for about 7 hours, and it ended up the police killed him. And that's really all they are saying. I'm not getting anything else as to what happened. Sadie ended up shot dead. I know, but it's not saying whether or not they knew each other, whether the child was in her room, nothing. Robin heard about it in Kentucky. Violent armed kidnapping is what it was. It will not be settled until the perpetrator has served his time in prison. Yeah, that was in Riverside, California. A man, a parent, young guy, about 27 years old, went in and held a teacher hostage for 7 hours. And it said that the teacher, I think, was bloodied. I don't know if it was a bloody nose or whatever. They didn't say whether or not he had a gun or any type of weapon. And then after 7 hours, something happened and they shot him and killed him. So I don't know any more details than that. The LA Times isn't really reporting anything. Hey, Ben, how are you? You just moved out of California. Where did you go, Kimberly? Where do you live now? What state? I think this particular school had a similar incident a few years ago. Wow. Nancy, there's might be a little problem there. Deborah, I have no idea. They didn't say anything about the guy. Only that I thought he was 27. In Phoenix, we had a hostage situation in a hotel near you, Rhonda said. Wow, for 12 hours. Was it a Muslim? They didn't say. I have no idea. CNN did not put the Arabic quote, but in English instead. PC again, Josette said. They are hiding it. It could be, Deborah. Very well could be. Yeah, Don said if he had a gun, they'd be raging idiots. Husband holding wife hostage. Rhonda, they didn't even say that. It supposedly was a parent, so I have no idea anything other than that. Husband was with wife and daughter when they tried to abduct his wife and daughter in the parking lot. When was that, Mel? Trump will stop the terrorist attacks. He's doing his best, I'll tell you what. He really is doing his best. Yeah, Moonbeam Jerry. Jerry let all the criminals out on the streets. I'm not saying this guy was one that he released, but that certainly doesn't help. That's why the crime rate in California has gone up. The last week. Oh, wow. Kimberly, what state did you move to out of California? I'm just interested in knowing. Um, so I told you about the Las Vegas police officer. Yes, I know. We live in California. Oh, Florida. Okay, cool. A lot of people in the scope from Florida. Are you from Orlando, right? You're the one that came in and said Orlando this morning. Judges need to be impeached that are stopping the bans. Well, yeah. Trump is draining the swamp, beginning with Manafort, Bob said. Okay, Kimberly, I thought that was you, but I wasn't sure. It goes so fast, I can't be sure. Um, Now, what we're being told also is that Jesus Campos will be given a subpoena by an attorney for Rachel Shepard. She's a 26-year-old from California who was shot 3 times in the attack. The station also reported that a judge ruled Monday that lawyers in civil lawsuits will be allowed to inspect the grounds of the Route 91 Harvest Music Festival where the attack occurred. I don't know what they're looking for other than maybe, the angles, because it seems like everything has been wiped clean. According to what I saw on Laura Loomer's Periscope, it looked like everything had been pretty much clean. Someone on the radio said Manafort by accident. It was great. Oh, my God. They're saying as of Monday, Shepard and 5 other plaintiffs, 2 in Nevada, 3 in California, have filed lawsuits. And this was according to the New Yorker. Hey, Carmen, good to see you. Shepard's lawsuit is against MGM Resorts International, the owners of Mandalay Bay, Live Nation, which is a bump stock maker, and gunman Stephen Paddock's estate. Was Campos ever given a GSR test? I have no idea. Humor will get us through. I know. It's about all we have left, Mel. If you guys could, if you don't mind inviting and sharing right now, we're at the halfway mark. I really appreciate it. You watch in the media try to blame POTUS for this. They are sick enough too, Josette said. Yeah, prayers, absolutely. I don't know if you heard about this, and I can't remember if we talked about it or not. If not, I'll just say it again. There was a couple, man and wife, who were in at the Las Vegas shooting. He is the one that kind of, fell on top of her to cover her from the gunshots. They lived in Riverside, and sort of like near, if you know where Murrieta is. They were probably in, I think, early 50s, and they had a child, at least one daughter that I know of. And they came back, and they said, the children said, they started becoming very close to each other because they knew they had survived the Las Vegas massacre. So they started sort of living in the moment and living, being with each other and appreciating each other. There was a picture that she had taken a photo of. It was of him giving flowers to her, roses, and saying how sweet that was and how blessed she felt. And 2 weeks later, they were in their Mercedes and they were coming back from someplace near their home. And for whatever reason, his Mercedes went off the road, went into a sort of a metal intercom, and with brick columns, it sounds like, around there. And the Mercedes exploded, I guess, caught on fire, and it took about an hour to put out the fire. And one of the children came out and saw the Mercedes on fire. So very tragic ending. It sounds weird to me that a Mercedes would blow up or catch on fire, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it sounds just a little weird to me, Mary. And I don't want to say that, I'm not saying there's a conspiracy. It just sounds a little weird. I mean, it either was going really, really fast or something. I don't know. My Argentinian friend just told me the 5 bikers that died came from Argentina. Yes, Argentina and 1 from Belgium, I think, Nancy. Very strange. A few people have died. Yeah, Barbara. It happened in Riverside. Normally a very safe car. Exactly. It was a 2010 Mercedes, as I recall. Just like the reporter who had information on the government drug tubing. They have assassinated many in cars. I believe that 5 survivors, they have now died, Marianne said. So many people from Vegas that survived have died. Yeah, that's crazy. So sad about the bikers. Yeah, everything is just I don't know. It's just crazy. Sounds like a spy novel, Asher said. It does. And that is one to blame, Spencer. I blame Chuck Schumer for these terrorist attacks, Spencer said. Yeah, Spencer, but according to Jeff Flake, Chuck Schumer wrote a part of the Gang of Eight amnesty deal, basically, that would have gotten rid of the diversity visa. Democrats defending terrorism is pure evil. They were best friends and came here to celebrate together, Nancy said. Wow. Yeah, didn't they all have T-shirts on that said Libre on the T-shirts? Somebody was telling me that. I can't remember who that was. Gang of Eight, think about the name itself. I know, Kimberly. Calling themselves a gang and happy for it. They can't kill all 22,000 victims, Dawn said. Morning, everyone. Debbie, how are you? Did any of the children with disabilities die in the New York attack? I don't know. I do know they did talk with one girl who was, I think she was recovering from cancer, and she was at that, at the concert, and she didn't die. All T-shirts had Libre on them. Okay. Debbie, it's your birthday. Happy birthday! It's Debbie's birthday, everybody. Say happy birthday to Debbie. We should close the border now. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, you've got to have a great day, Debbie. Go out and do something fun. Anything and everything fun. Everybody on YouTube is saying happy birthday as well, Debbie. For Debbie's birthday, we should close the border. Hey, yay. Thank you, Kimberly. 56 today. Congratulations. Everybody's saying happy birthday to you. Trump should sell the UN assets to pay for the wall. I agree. UN should be kicked out of New York. America has had diversity for hundreds of years. The diversity visa makes no sense. True, Ben. I know. Debbie's 56 years young today. Let's give Debbie a wall for her birthday. Catherine says happy birthday from Facebook Live. Prayers looking for a good job. Everybody pray for Kimberly. She's looking for a good job. Let's pray that the Holy Spirit guides Kimberly to the job that's right for her, that he wants her to have. Hugh, Spencer, Monica, Robin, Asher, they all said happy birthday, Debbie. Put the UN in Cuba? Good. Or just get them out of the United States. I don't care. Works for me. You're welcome, Kimberly. Happy birthday, Debbie, Carmen said. Yeah, anybody that ever needs prayer, just let us know, and we'll pray for you. We'll be more than happy to pray for you. Hey, Veritas, grace and peace, patriots. Good to see you. What about a service dog? Hey, now that would be... Debbie, have you looked into getting a service dog? I do know there's an organization that does that, so... Prayers going up, Robin said, for everyone who needs it. Wall for Debbie. That's really good. Molly, that's great. Someone wrote service dog comment. I missed it. I thought they were saying to Debbie something about a service dog. They brought mine over yesterday for bonding. Oh, nice. Good. Debbie's got a service dog. That's great, Debbie. Praying for a job soon. A good one. Carmen is too. Cully's is tomorrow. Well, happy birthday a day early, Cully. Goodness, everybody with birthdays. My nephew needs prayer, was in Mexico, robbed in an attack with a pipe full of screws, has sepsis. Oh my gosh, Rhonda. Pray for Rhonda's nephew who got attacked in Mexico and not doing very well at all. Your birthday was Sunday. Well, Debbie, happy belated birthday to you. And Debbie's birthday was you said Saturday? We missed it, but happy birthday to Debbie. Happy birthday to Marta Cully and anybody else. Bonding Black Lab named Hunter. Oh, that's perfect, Debbie. Nancy's got a hair appointment on Cully's birthday. Well, at least one of you is going to look good. Oh, Debbie's was on Sunday. New York Presser just said that the terrorist may be connected to others they are watching. Jerry, I hate to say this. Hey, Alexis. I hate to say this, but there was a note that was saying he did it for ISIS. I don't know how much more we need to do for them to convince them that there may be others. You know? Oh my gosh. You're a huge dog lover. Yes, I think most people in here are. Yeah, it's amazing when they come out and say the evidence is right in front of them. Hey, I did this on behalf of ISIS, the guy writes. And then they're like, hey, I think there may be other people. You think? There are no lone wolves. That's right. We need to do the investigation, Jerry said. They said he got a signal to do the jihad. There you go. If you want to hear more about this, go to SusanKnowles.com. Look in the search bar, put in Paul Nehlen, Nehlen. He's the guy that's running against Paul Ryan. He was on my show, not the last one, but the one before. He talked about his book, and he talked about jihad and everything else. I mean, and there's a lot of people on my website that I've had shows with. Just go read the description, and you'll see. Just put in Stand for Truth Radio. It'll all come up, all the shows, and you can see who's talked about Islam and jihad. Only 6 to 8 months old. Wow. Your dog is very young. That's so cool. Yeah, Paul Nehlen seems to be a great guy. Hopefully he will beat Paul Ryan. Will be interesting to see what they do when he's well. Gully Goodwin. Okay. So I don't know if you heard about this case. This happened back in June. 2 Indianapolis police officers fatally shot an unarmed black man in Indianapolis, like I said. And they, as of yesterday, a special prosecutor was assigned. They wanted to get somebody that they felt was neutral, somebody that was not in the police department or connected with the police department or whatever. And they are going to not press charges against the police. They said basically that, and kind of, I didn't hear about this case, so I don't know if you guys heard about it or not. They said they stopped Bailey, stopped his vehicle about 1:45 a.m. on June 29. About 10 minutes after the traffic stop, he drove off with the woman in the passenger seat. Then a police chase ensued. He led other officers on a short chase that traveled about a mile and was over in less than a minute. Police said Bailey crashed the car and stopped near, an Aqueduct Street. The car bit a chain-link fence and left tire ruts in the grass. And officers went up to the car and supposedly asked him to get out of the car or approach the car, thought they saw him reach over into the center console, and they fired repeatedly. He was pronounced dead at the scene. And so that's the allegations on everything. So, and I don't know what was going to happen with that, but they were due to protest yesterday on behalf of that. Yeah, and overall for everybody, hey Gordon, good to see you. Everybody who's on all 3 platforms today, prayers for you that the Holy Spirit is going to know what's right for you, what you need without you even asking, and that the Holy Spirit is going to give you what's in your best interest, no matter what it is. I don't know, Don. Don was asking when Haney was going to be back, a former CIA guy. And I don't know. I should call him because I was thinking about him just the other day. Kind of CIA-ish. Hey, John, good to see you. Now, some other reports came out about Kevin Spacey. Did anybody hear beyond the fact that he is accused of sexually assaulting a 14-year-old? Did anybody hear anything further? Haney and Mr. Douglas. Who's Mr. Douglas? Give me a first name, maybe. I don't know who's Douglas is. Yeah, Kevin Spacey came out that he said he was gay. He said that the first night, and when he apologized. Basically, what happened was Kevin Spacey's, this is according to his brother, saying that Kevin Spacey's father was a Nazi child rapist who routinely abused his children in his House of Horrors home. Somebody else came out and accused him. Robert said, no, I don't want to know any more about Hollywood. I wish they would go away. That's never going to happen. WikiLeaks showed he was a Lolita passenger. Oh. Yeah, don't know if that's true or not, but yeah, it said according to Spacey's brother, 62-year-old Randall Fowler, who is a Rod Stewart impersonator, allegations that the actor sexually assaulted a 14-year-old boy came as no surprise given their childhood. Fowler claims that their father, whom they called the Creature, routinely abused them as kids, and their mother knew about it. In a 2004 interview with The Sun, Fowler also described their father as a Nazi obsessed with Adolf Hitler. The abuse scared Fowler so deeply that he refused to have his own children in fear they would inherit the sexual predator gene. Whew. Rod Stewart, enough said. I actually met Rod Stewart when I was 13. I know you can dream, Robin. Yeah, I did. I met Rod Stewart. This is a true story. I'll give you one of my little true stories. I was working in a little Hickory Farms. Does anybody remember? I know that's awful. Hickory Farms. Anybody remember that? Yeah, they trace back to Nazis. See if I'm grown up. Did he try to kiss you? Rod Stewart. Rod Stewart. He's not a guy that does stuff like that. Nobody's accused Rod Stewart of anything. So he came into Hickory Farms. I was working at Hickory Farms because back then you could work when you were 13 years old. Hey Beck, how are you? I didn't see you come in. And so he came over to my cheese and I said, would you like a sample of my cheese? And yes, I did mean just the cheese. And he had two big bodyguards with him. They looked to maybe have been, I would say, Native American, and they were huge bodyguards. And the reason what he was doing, he was walking through the mall to kind of be recognized because he was going to be playing a concert that night in my hometown. So it's funny because I recognized him right when he walked in the door. And, at 13, you're like, oh, my God, it's Rod Stewart. Whatever. The guy in New York City had been planning this attack for weeks. Oh, now there's a big shocker. Not a euphemism. She meant cheese. Exactly. I meant cheese. I lived in the movie culture. Mom was an actress, always been sick. Oh, Alexis, sorry about that. Yeah, the hair is unmistakable. Yeah, well, just the whole look about Rod Stewart was unmistakable. I haven't seen him since I was 13, so not in person anyway. But that was a big treat for my town, my small town. I met, Asher said I met Ned Beatty. He lived close to me. He was an ass to my son of 8 years old. Well, okay, not surprised about that. I went backstage and met Simon and Garfunkel when I was 13 years old, Catherine said. That's cool, Catherine. His show in Vegas is great. God is exposing as we have been praying. And we should continue to pray each night. I could have been Mrs. Rod Stewart. I know. Because I was the right age, right? Is that what you're saying? I want to meet Trump too, Brian. I think that would be amazing. I had Joan. You had Joan Jett on your jet? A friend of mine did meet President Trump. Maggie May Knowles, there you go. I met Robert Conrad on the Wild West. Wow, that's pretty cool. You met Tom Selleck. Antonio did. Daniel. He's a real superstar. You met Muhammad Ali. Wow. Have a great day. Wasn't it yesterday though, Nancy? I see Yoko. Oh, you saw her once in Central Park. I met Wayne Newton. Super nice. I went to law school with Wayne Newton's nephew. Big Kenny from Big and Rich, birthday today. I met him and had a picture with him. Now that's cool, Debbie. I like that. David Cassidy, yep. was in duty and met Princess Diana. Wow, now that's very cool. Today is All Saints Day. Pray for the dead. I thought they did that on Halloween, Nancy. But, God is exposing them all. We always His will be done. This is His will. It may not be pleasant if it is His will. Josette said. Tom Selleck was very polite. I would expect that he would be. That's so cool about the people that we meet. Donna Douglas, Ellie Mae. Oh, wow. Martin Luther King Jr., Sr. Wow. That's very cool. Hope David Cassidy was not driving. Last stop of inequity. Okay, cool, Nancy. Howard Hughes. Wow. Did they go anywhere or just stay home? No, today, All Saints Day, we have funeral for my first husband in '04. Aw, Barbara. I have Robin Williams' autograph. I never met anyone famous, but I stayed in a Holiday Inn last night. Now, why is that, Patrick? Why were you in a Holiday Inn last night? Christy Brinkley. Spencer met Christy Brinkley and got a hug from her. Oh, we always met in Palm Springs. Huh. Interesting. Right next to LA, but far enough away. All right. In Los Angeles, I know that Nancy had to go, but in Los Angeles Unified School District, the largest public school system in California and the second largest school district in the United States, they approved a workshop for K through 12 teachers that they're saying is unequivocally anti-Israel. The program is produced by an anti-Israel organization called Fellowship of Reconciliation, which supports boycott, divestment, and sanctions against Israel. You're in a Hilton Gardens right now. Oh, wow. That's pretty nice. I worked for the original Marlboro Man, and his roommate was Max Baer Jr. Wow, Catherine. Hello, Helen. How are you? So you've got the LA School District, supposedly, that is bringing in anti-Israel curriculum. Max was Jethro. Yes, I knew who he was. I bet the Marlboro Man was cute, though. I saw Bobby from Dallas meeting Pam at the Chinese Festival in Dallas for years. I saw the, what is her name? Gosh, I can't even think of her name. The woman who was married to the guy on the show Dallas. What was her name? And she also dated one of the Bee Gees for a while. What was her name? The one who was married to the whole show Dallas, and she was the wife of the guy, Victoria Principal. Yes, I saw her one day in San Diego. They were shooting in San Diego. No, not Linda Gray, Victoria Principal. And it was amazing because I had seen her earlier on some TV program, and she was saying, "Oh my gosh, I feel so fat. I'm just so fat." The woman was like this big around, and probably more like this big around. Where she was fat, I have no idea. She was a stick. Absolute stick. Asher said she met Jesus, which is the most important of all. I've met boatloads of Secret Service. They have all been very decent folks. Yep. I had Dan Bongino on my show, so there you go. She was always very thin, I know, but she saw herself as very fat. That counts, Ben. I'm on MLK Boulevard, Martin Landau. Yeah, we all know somebody, don't we? Thank you, Helen. Yeah, it was Victoria Principal. I don't know if you had a chance to read my article today on Tom Perez, the DNC guy. He probably knew just about everything there was to know about any question that you asked him. But the one thing that he didn't know was how much money was spent on the Fusion GPS dossier. Hubby sat next to Joe Scarborough. Oh, I'm sorry. I would have asked for a new seat. I did meet and hang out with the monkeys back in 1969, Patrick said. That's cool. Remember we talked about yesterday that ad from Latino Victory? That horrible, racist, vile ad? Does anybody remember us talking about that yesterday? The one where the guy in a pickup truck with a Confederate flag is trying to run down little children. Yeah, they pulled it. And basically they said when they pulled it, so we had a mirror up to the Republican Party and they didn't like what they saw. So they took it down, but they had to have that one last jab at the Republican Party, like, oh, well, this is what you do. You just didn't like seeing what you do, which is disgusting. Vile, vile, vile. I'm glad they pulled it too. Must have had enough people calling in saying this is unacceptable. I saw also at the head of the NPR, NPR, National Public Radio, the head of NPR News Department was placed on leave, accused of sexual harassment by two women when they worked at the New York Times 20 years ago. So I'm telling you, if anybody ever did anything, I don't care how many years ago it was, they must be sweating at this point. But that was the head of NPR News Department. And two men were arrested for shooting at the Border Patrol, the off-duty Border Patrol in El Paso, Texas. They did not say anything about whether or not these people were illegally here in the country or not. Some other information came out about the Department of Homeland Security. Yeah, Gary, it was a very disgusting ad. Monica says, I don't watch TV, so haven't seen it. Monica, you won't see it now. It's been pulled. How do you defend yourself against a 20-year allegation? Not too well. I mean, there's some allegations coming out against, let me get it so I get it right, Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning is accused by an athletic trainer. Her name is Jamie, from the University of Tennessee. She said that he put his, I'm just going to say rear end, testicles, and penis on her head while she was examining his foot when Peyton Manning was 19 years old. So that's going to, he says he was just mooning a guy in the shower, in the locker room, and that's all it was. But when he was 19 years old, isn't he in his 40s now? Peyton Manning is innocent, period. Carmen said, I did 10 in Navy. Debbie said, think she got paid money to shut up. I have no idea. I know. Asher is rolling on the floor laughing. She says, oh my God. This allegation has been going on for several years. Amber, you're right. In 1996, she came out with the same allegation. And so she's coming out again and saying it. And she said she was coming out because all the other women were. Sorry, that's hysterical. I don't believe it, Asher said. Oh my God, they really pulling at straws now. Monique said, do not mess with our Mississippi boys. They are taught manners. Carmen said, 3 in MP and 20 in the law. For what? What are you talking about? Law enforcement officers. What are you talking about? So, I mean, if you've ever done anything, it may come back at you. The Department of Homeland Security lost 228 firearms during the last 3 years of Obama's term, and 100 plus badges between 2014 and 2016, and 25 secure immigration stamps. So that was after an audit. God is telling us not to worship false idols. You are absolutely right. Absolutely right. You act right or get to go to the woodshed in Mississippi. Well, that's true. And a 19-year-old, I don't know. I'm not saying she's lying or anything else, but it would be hard for me to see. It would now, I could see it. But back then, when Peyton Manning was 19, to have him pull down his towel in the locker room with the woman there. But he said he did it. He said he did moon someone. So he's saying that. I mean, it's hard for me to believe that he would do that. Okay, Catherine, see you tomorrow. Thanks for being here. Everybody, if you would please retweet this. Please share it. Get the message around. And 11:05:17. That's the day after the 4th. Is that what you mean? Have a good day, everybody. Thank you so much. Pray for everybody. Pray for our president. Pray for our country. Pray for each other in here. Pray for everybody in the whole United States. All right. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, I'll have to do that, Debbie. Thank you so much. Hey, Teresa, I didn't say hi to you. Hey, Lorianne, didn't see you. Thank you, everybody. Shalom and goodbye. And I know exactly. Prayers for everybody. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless you. Take care, everybody. All right, YouTubers, thanks so much for coming by. Please share everything, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take